This is the SOLIX F3800 portable power station. If you've ever thought about backup power for your home or for those trips away from the grid, this one really stands out. When I first saw the F3800, I was honestly a bit surprised by the size. It's definitely big, with a sturdy silver case, a tough look, and built-in wheels. You get the sense right away that you're dealing with something meant for serious power needs. I'm not going to lie, I had some doubts at first, especially seeing the 132-pound weight on the spec sheet. That's heavy, but the wheels and telescopic handle helped a lot when I needed to move it. I could actually pull it around with less effort than I expected. Lifting is still not easy, but if you set it up in one main location, getting it around on flat surfaces isn't much trouble. Looking at the design, it feels solid, with a straightforward interface. The LCD display on the front is super helpful, giving real-time info about how much power is left, how much you're using, and the charging status. For someone like me who isn't an electrician, being able to glance at the screen and understand what's happening is key. The main controls are simple, so if you're just starting out with backup batteries or aren't technical, you'll appreciate how clear it is. Let me run down the key features that I noticed right away. This thing packs a 3,840 watt lithium iron phosphate battery. That number just means you have a lot of storage, enough to handle pretty much anything in the house during an outage. The inverter can handle up to 6,000 watts, with a 9,000 watt surge if you hook up something super demanding, like an air conditioner or power tools. What's great about that is you don't have to worry about plugging in several big appliances. From my experience, during a test run in my shed, I could run lights, fans, my laptop, phone chargers, and even a mid-sized heater all at the same time. The total power draw only got up to about 3,000 watts, which felt almost effortless for the SOLIX F3800. What I really like is the flexibility in charging. AC charging is fast. You can get to 80% in under 3 hours, and if you use the solar option, it supports up to 2,400 watt solar input. That means if you have the right panels, like the 400 watt panel included in my bundle, you can get this thing recharged in just a couple of hours on a sunny day. For me, that's a huge plus for anyone thinking about using it for camping, tailgating, or keeping it as a backup on a property that doesn't have reliable electricity. The solar charging connector that comes with it is easy to figure out, so you're not fumbling around with weird proprietary cables. Another thing I noticed, and I think a lot of people might appreciate, is how easy it is to expand the battery. The main unit gives you 3.8 kilowatt hours, but you can buy extra expansion batteries and stack up to 6 of them, getting the total storage up to over 26 kilowatt hours. If you're really into having complete backup for your whole house, it's possible. I found this feature reassuring because you can start with the basics and only add more storage as your needs grow, or as your budget allows. I had some hesitations about safety and longevity at first, but the lithium iron phosphate, life before, chemistry, made me feel better. It's known for being safer and holding up for thousands of charging cycles. The manual says this one should last 10 years or more, which is way longer than your average traditional power storage. The built-in battery management system keeps an eye on temperature, voltage, and any potential shorts. For someone who's a little skittish about storing such a big battery in the garage, those safety features put my mind at ease. Operating this unit is straightforward. Besides the AC outlets for things like kitchen appliances, there are also 3 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, and a 12-volt car socket. Most smaller power stations I've used before only let you charge one laptop at max speed, but here you can plug in 3 high-wattage devices at once. That worked well when I tested my phone, laptop, and camera, all charging together with no problem. From my experience using it over a couple of weeks, including one intentional blackout test at home, one thing that stood out was how quietly it ran. Some big battery packs get pretty loud when charging or powering high loads, but the SOLIX F3800 just has a whisper-level fan noise, sort of like a home air purifier on low. That made it much less distracting, whether I was using it indoors or keeping it in the hallway as a backup in case the power dropped. Switching over to home backup is made easier with built-in UPS, uninterruptible power supply features. What that means in plain English: if the grid goes out, the power station automatically kicks in to supply your house, so your appliances won't even blink. You don't need to manually unplug and replug everything, which is a big deal for keeping the fridge, network equipment, or medical devices running. I had a licensed electrician help me connect it to my home circuit panel, and after setting up the basic transfer switch, everything worked the way I hoped. Another smart feature is the time of use mode. This is something I didn't know I needed before, but now I think it makes a lot of sense. The idea is, during times when your electricity rate is cheaper, like at night, the SOLIX F3800 charges up. Then, during peak times when rates spike, you draw power from the battery instead of the expensive grid. For me, that's just lower bills automatically. And the app lets me schedule these times so I don't have to worry about it at all. Let me be honest about the size and weight though. It's definitely large, over 2 feet long, about 1.5 feet wide and high, and over 130 pounds. With the wheels and handle, you can move it around the house, but this is not a weekend camping battery you're going to want to lift in and out of a car every trip. For backup at home, in an RV, or for folks staying put in one spot, it's perfect. But if you're all about portability above all else, this might be overkill. Cost is another thing I had to think about. It isn't cheap. If you add expansion batteries or a home integration kit, you're looking at a serious investment. But after looking at similar options, especially those that require a patchwork of separate components, cables, controllers, and panels, I felt better about the value here. The 5-year warranty is a nice reassurance, and Anker has a good track record, but personally, I still suggest thinking through what you really need, and if you'll use the F3800's big features before pulling the trigger. In conclusion, I'd recommend this for anyone who wants reliable, long-lasting backup power for their home, or for those who spend a lot of time off the grid and need to run real appliances. It's perfect for folks with an RV, a cabin, or even just peace of mind in severe weather areas. From my experience, the ability to charge quickly, the simple controls, and the quiet operation all make it so much less stressful to own and operate than I expected. If you don't need this much power, or you're planning to carry your station along for travel often, there are smaller options. But for security, convenience, and serious performance, it's tough to beat what the SOLIX F3800 brings to the table. I will leave all the information about the SOLIX F3800 portable power station in the comments. I hope to see you again in the following videos.